It's been 131 long days through the cold and snowy winter days to the dark and drawn-out winter nights since the eve of the last encounter, waiting impatiently for the ice to thaw. But today marks a new dawn. Sun is shining, the flowers are blossoming, the birds are chirping away, and in the distance, a hint of a six-cylinder twin-turbo engine car can be heard if you listen hard enough, revving in the background. But yes, folks, NRL is back. It's 2025 and it's season 5. Let's go. This weekend sees 64 drivers entering for the pre-qualification stage ahead of a new season, but only 56 will secure their passage to the official league stage next week, sending 8 drivers home. Yesterday saw the first of the 32 drivers go through the motions, where 4 of the drivers met their maker for the Friday split, dividing the 28 survivalists in their respective divisions, and was beautifully devised by the wonderful Toon, Leo and Slow-Mo on yesterday's broadcast. If you missed it, never fear, as we will learn of their destination for the group stage in a few moments. But first, it's time to introduce myself. I'm Floor Genius Gaming, taking you through the next 5 Saturdays of this brand new season. Will Wid be able to defend his crown, or will we see a new champion grace the NRL come the final on April the 26th? Well, luckily, I have 2 amazing commentators by my side with the golden mic to help me encrypt this latest puzzle to the equation. Back again for another enthralling season, we have the beautiful T-Case and the equally beautiful Tati. Firstly, though, T-Case, good to have you back, and how have you been?
Oh, thanks, Vlad. You're too kind. Too kind. I have been doing great, and just like the rest of us have been eagerly or anxiously awaiting this season 5 of NRL to start. I cannot wait. We were treated to some great qualifying last night, and I can't wait to see what these drivers do for us today.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a very exciting affair. And lastly, but certainly not least, Tati, 1 season under your belt. How have you been, and how excited are you for this season?
Thank you, Claude. I'm feeling great, especially now that you've put me on equal beautiful footing as TK. Knowing that I'm at that echelon of beauty it means a lot to me. Super excited to be back. So happy to be invited back. This is probably the most fun league that I have had the pleasure of doing commentary for so far. Please, nobody else send me angry emails. So looking forward to tonight and the next 4 nights. Weekends, really.
Yes, weekends indeed. And yeah, 100% Tati, I agree with you. This is the best place for all your racing action on Gran Turismo 7. We have a new sponsor, and it's important that we recognize and give a huge thank you to Henke's Tavern, who have kindly decided to sponsor the NRL for the whole of season 5. It's a bar and restaurant that can be found in St. Louis of the US. It is the birthplace for 7 Up and peanut butter. And those that love their baseball, the St. Louis Cardinals. Did anyone know about this? Because this absolutely blows my mind. But I do digress. If there's anyone watching from the bar of Henke's Tavern, we give a warm welcome from us in the NRL. And again, a big thank you for sponsoring the NRL Season 5, because if you ain't first, we're open to 1 a.m. Actually, I checked, it's open till 1:30 a.m, so I'll certainly be the last one in there. And so last night we had the opening of Season 5 for the Friday splits. And we have now the results. So TK, can you read us through the drivers qualifying into the Friday Division A, please?
I sure can, Claude. So for Friday qualifying standings, on pole, we have Chief Apollo with a 117.286. P2, Subi 15 with a 117.319. P3, we have Bobagito, CBR. That's Cornbread Racing, and with a 117.425. Then we have PHG Jorge Sr. with a 117.484. And P5, we have PHG Rick Shear with a 117.541. Then in P6, we have PHG Papa, the proprietor of PHG, with a 117.636, followed in P7 by Darkin Azrael with a 117.704. Then in P8, we have Talon with a 117.849, followed by PHG Fast Cougar with a 117.889. Then in P10, we have Elcos with a 117.951. That's the 10 drivers all within less than a second of each other in the 117s. That is amazing. Then in P11, we have the True Serum with a 118.030, followed by Lagtastics with a 118.047, so close between them, followed by Deputy Fishtail with a 118.177, and then to round out in P14 we have RSR Ace with a 118.387.
And Tati, if you can read us through the next 14 drivers to qualify for the Friday Division B, please.
Absolutely super close between Division A. Division B, a little less close, but still everyone pretty much within 2 seconds of each other. First and 15th, we have Jezer with a 118.389. Corridor in 16th with a 118.425. Angry Fredbird in 17th with a 118.502. This name I may butcher. I see Z48D4R_88. Might say Zabcar, not sure. C48 car is how we're going to say that. All right, Z48 car comes in with a 118.555. In 19th, it's RSR Zilla with a 118.586. Sugar Shuffles takes 20th with a 118.620. Stumpy in 21st with a 118.841. In 22nd place, you've got PHG Shaggy Doo in 118.958. Arnax in 23rd with a 118.992. PHG Mr. Ormond in 24th with a 119.176. PHG Strick 9 in 25th with a 119.235. 26th, we see Beef Castle at a 119.332. Cruel Bob in 27th with a 119.826. And finally, it's a VHR Fernando B in 28th with a 120.206. Those are the standings, Flawed.
And just a quick mention that Sonic was eliminated out of the qualifying stage, in the group stages, should I say, with that 1 minute 21.332. There was another 3 drivers added to that list that didn't participate, unfortunately. They'll be sent packing to maybe fight it out for next season. So okay. I was about to say, before we get into the details for tonight, it's important to say a big thank you to RSR Zilla with the US $20 donation, saying let's go. Thank you so much for the generosity there. Us at NRL really appreciate it. Thank you. But yeah, let's get into the details for the pre-qualifying tonight. So this is the first of the 3 qualifying stints we have tonight. We are off to Japan for the urban metropolis in the city of Tokyo. It's Tokyo Expressway, central clockwise variant in the BMW M4 Group 4 car for this 15-minute qualifying session to book your place in the group stage of the NRL. Track length is 2.74 miles with 4 turns to the left, 10 to the right in a clockwise direction, making a total of 14 turns. The BMW M4 is a 3-litre turbocharged car producing 394 brake horsepower at 5,700 RPM and a weight of 1,365 kilos in this FR drivetrain. A very unique car in the Group 4 category and a heavy reliance of changing gears in the low RPM range to get the maximum power from this turbo-powered machine. Less is certainly more in this case. This will be under the BOP regulations stock setup with just brake bias enabled with a tyre wear rate at ×3 using the sticky racing soft tyres and a fuel consumption rate of ×4. The drivers will need to keep it steady and avoid the walls on either side of this narrow twisty circuit as heavy damage is applied to this qualifying session. And as mentioned, this is just a qualifying session to book your place into the next phase of the championship. So no points will be given. Top 14 times over the 3 splits qualify for the Saturday top split in Division A. The next 14 will be entered for Saturday's Division B. The 4 remaining drivers, unfortunately, will be packing their bags to watch the rest of the championship from the comfort of their armchair. So the lineup for Split 1 are as follows. So we have Bandit, we have GI Boku, we have Island Grown, Louise, Old Man Pip, PHG Arrow, PHG Horn of Plenty, PHG Lyric, PHG Sheldologist, and we have a Spawn. Please make sure you check out their streaming profiles applicable to them, as I'm sure they'll be streaming from their point of view right now, making sure you keep a tab open for us in the NRL so you don't miss a thing. So, TK's looking at that circuit then. It's a very tricky circuit. You've got walls either side. Have you driven around here and also in this BMW M4?
Yes, I have. I think Toon put it great yesterday. It's a Walden Goodwood. Really is, and it's mostly right-handers with a couple kinks to the left hand. But for me, this track, I've always liked to use it with road cars on sport or comfort tires. Going up to these, Group 4 cars, it's a lot trickier, especially with this grippy rubber. The walls are everywhere, and with heavy damage on, it's a real challenge. But I did hop in a couple practice lobbies and try this out myself. When I did that, I did not know about the short shifting, so I was very, very slow. The short shifting is going to be key, as well as burning off as much fuel as possible. So we saw some great stuff last night, and hopefully all these drivers were paying attention and can have a little bit more of an edge. Maybe we'll see a 1:16 time today, and that would just be awesome.
Well, that is certainly a top tip. So I do wonder whether or not some of the drivers in the lobbies will be listening in to make sure that they use this tip, because, certainly without the short shifting, the drivers will be losing a fair chunk of time. Tati, what are your thoughts on this circuit yourself? And have you ever driven this BMW M4 before?
Hey there. I think I've driven this M4 before, but it must have been very brief because I really have no memory of it. In fact, I didn't know that you short shifted it. I've not really paid attention to the torque curve on this vehicle, so that's good to know. As far as this track goes, I love the Tokyo tracks, and I will confess I have never, that I can remember, successfully completed a fast lap around here without hitting the walls. So very tough track. Drivers are going to have to concentrate really, really hard to use every bit of it that they can in order to maximize their time. We saw how close the times were last night. Tonight, we're hoping for the same thing, but you can't have a close time if you hit the wall.
To be honest, Sassy, you're not the only one. I think most of us will confess that we've hit a few walls or two, that is for sure. Qualifying is just underway now as the drivers are on their outlap. But let us know in chat who you are supporting throughout this qualifying session, and who you believe will be the fastest in this session right now, as we look on board with GI Boku, part of course of the Go Instinct team. He's on the controller, and last appearance was in season 4 in the Division 8 final. Didn't have the best showing there, finished in P11. We'll be hoping for bigger and better things in season 5. But if you do want to check him out, he's on YouTube at Boku 5837. Thank you. So yeah, very important to try and burn off a little bit of fuel in the out lap, and then on the second lap, it's all about short shifting and really maximizing the power in this car and try to absolutely nail the turns. This turn in particular is absolutely crucial, as I said, he's absolutely nailed it through turn 6 there. But we are riding on board of Sheldologist, one of the new drivers into NRL, making his debut. He is part of the Papa House of Game team. He's using a Fanatec DD Pro, and he is also on YouTube at Sheldologist. So do go and check him out. But yeah, so far so good for Sheldologist. It looks like he has been very smooth through this lap, and we'll see as we come through the medium speed last corner of this lap, and see what sort of lap time he can produce, as he sets a 1 minute 18 flat. So a great early banker lap for him, as the times coming thick and fast. PHG Arrow looked like he set a 1 minute 18.5. This has been bettered by Lyric, who's just set a 1 minute 17.9, I do believe. Yeah, just a slightly pixelated image for myself there, but I'm looking on 2 streams at the moment. But Island Grown, we're on board right now, currently P6 at the minute. He is a free agent using the Logitech G29 wheel. His last appearance was just the group stage. He finished P26 overall in season 4, and he can be found on YouTube as well, Island Grown 777. So yeah, generally speaking, if the drivers do know, if the drivers do know about the strategies going into qualifying, lap 2 will be the flying lap, lap 3 will be the lap to burn fuel and then dive back into the pits. So we see quite a number of drivers dive into the pits. We do have a POV, picture-in-picture camera on board as a new feature for this season. So as you can see on the right-hand side is GI Boku's point of view as he goes to set a lap. But yeah, so far so good, TK, during this quali sessions. Any predictions ahead of or before the end of the qualifying is done in split 1?
Well, I mean, yeah, so far so good. As we just see Boku hit the wall and take a penalty there. That that just ruined his lap. But like we were saying, these walls are going to make or break you, and you can be on a fast flyer and it just ends just like that. But I think we're off to a great start with Lyric putting in a 17.9 on his first lap with heavy fuel. By the time these guys are ready to do their final lap, their fuel's going to be a lot lower. These cars are going to be a lot lighter, and we're going to see some really fast times, but it can end just like that.
Yes, indeed. Well, Tati, I need to ask you as well. So, no, not one driver managed to get inside the 1 minute 16s, but we do have with us in today's session. Do you anticipate him to be the first driver to get into that 16 milestone?
Well, we know very fast. Obviously, he won the championship last year for Split A, so the overall winner. If anyone can break into the 116s, it is him. It's going to be so hard, though. I mean, we've seen some really quick people like Boku, so to speak, hit walls, tap walls. I've been watching, obviously, and we've seen some rubbing. This is about who can not try to be too brave on corner entry, but maximize corner exit. A lot of these exits are actually opening radius. And so if you could take advantage of that and pick up speed in this car, then I think breaking into the 116 is absolutely possible.
Yeah, fingers crossed for him. I do believe he is in split 2, I think. May need to check my notes, but we are on board with the sole British driver in Spawn, currently in P5 at the moment. Personal best is a 1 minute 18.478, but you'll see a trend at the moment, so it's very important for the drivers to make sure they don't reset to pits. This means that they run 3 laps, dive into the pits, don't fuel, and change onto some new tyres. So you'll see that with Spawn now, and hopefully, if he doesn't make a mistake, we're hoping he will do better here. And certainly one driver that's got better is PHG Lyric, who sets a 1 minute 17.4. So currently on pole position. Oh, as Spawn hits the wall on the outside, grabs himself a 1.5 second penalty and front aero damage. He's going to need to pit for sure, TKs.
Indeed, and that's a really good point you brought up, Flawed, about not resetting to the pits, not pausing it and exiting, because that refuels your whole car. So even when you get that penalty or that damage, it's better to drive around and pit so that you don't end up with a full fuel tank. So that's a key point to do. I saw a couple drivers end up resetting last night, and when you have enough time to burn off the fuel, that's okay, but as we're getting later in this qualifying session, it becomes more crucial to have that low fuel tank.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're on board with PhD Lyric. He's making his debut, and certainly making his debut in style, as we are roughly about halfway through this 15-minute qualifying session. As he dives into the pits now, he's certainly set the benchmark during this qualifying so far. But I'm sure Louise will have something to say about this, as currently he is in P4. He was involved in Season 4 in the Division B tier, and he finished P5 overall, so he had a great championship. Yeah, he's still free agent, and he's actually using the PSVR 2 headset. So it's good to see we've got VR users out there. Although I would definitely need a sit bucket by my side, because I would imagine it would be very very scary on this type of circuit. But yeah, Tati, what were you like with VR? Have you ever used VR before?
Not game, no. I would love to. The PSVR isn't the cheapest piece of kit, obviously, but maybe I need to start looking on my local Facebook marketplace. It's time to pick one up.
It is. I've had the opportunity to use it, use someone else's, and the immersion is I say it's unreal. It's very real. It is incredibly real. I couldn't imagine in this circuit, when you have walls and just everything whizzing by you, it's got to be really, really intense.
Oh man, absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you have like a butt kicker applied to your rig as well, I mean, it'll be very difficult to depict what is real and what isn't really. So, but yeah, no, certainly not for me though. Not for me. I much prefer triple screens, even though a feature that needs to be added to Gran Turismo. But yeah, so far we are 10 minutes into this qualifying session, so we've got 5 minutes remaining. This will be the last stint for many of the drivers now. So we're on board with PSG Horner Plenty as Old Man Pip moves to the side nice and safely to allow Horner Plenty through the tunnel. But we've you'll notice on the right hand side that we have got the picture-in-picture POVs, so do definitely check that out. But we've got Horner Plenty right now, who is on his outlap, so it is certainly the last chance saloon for him and try to move up the grid, but certainly his time does need to improve, because so far his time is a 1 minute 19.7. We do predict that the cut-off point for Division A is roughly in the 1 minute 18s, maybe 1 minute 18 flat to maybe a mid 118. We'll see if last night's broadcast was anything to go by. Yeah, you can see with the picture out, we've got PSG Shell Dologist currently second position at the minute, looking to overthrow PSG Lyric for that pole position. Yeah, we'll see how Horner Plenty gets on as we cross the line for sector 1. He's gone 1.5 tenths up on his previous best, so certainly it's movement in the right direction there. Yes, Sheldologist is just going through the tunnel now, so I think looking rather steady through there in a minute.
Yeah, he's going really smooth. Waiting for his sector time to pop up. Oh, but he is actually almost 4 tenths down on his best time as we switch over to him now. So it's not looking the best, but he should hopefully be able to get another lap in with these tires warmed up. He did a pretty safe and smooth out lap, and he's already improved, or he's bringing that delta down now just at a tenth over his best time.
So Lyric is dived into the pits, same as Sheldologist as well. So they will be currently P1 and P2. We'll see if Boku can improve with Louise and Old Man Pit. Currently P5, the latter there with a 1 minute 18.2. He's just scraped the wall on the outside there. I think he may have ruined his lap there as he's gone red into sector 1. But he is a free agent at the moment. He's making his debut into the NRL Season 5. He's on the controller, and he may well be on YouTube as he clatters the outside wall. And that will be qualifying over for him, unfortunately. But we'll see if anyone can pit Old Man to his 5th position there as we ride on board with Lyric, who's currently currently holds that pole position time. He's on the outlap. I do wonder. Yes, he will have enough time to get one final lap in. So can he extend his gap to Sheldologist, who is also on his outlap as well? So it's certainly going to be a last lap showdown between the pair of them. But it'd be interesting to see if Boku can fight it out amongst the top two as well. So Boku is, in fact, TK, talk us through Boku at the moment.
Yeah, Baku, his time right now is his best time is a 118.015. He's currently 4 tenths off his fastest time, so this is not the lap for it. And his front left tire is about halfway dead. And he just tapped the wall there. I'm not sure. Now he's half a second down. It's not looking good. Maybe he's going to dive into the pits for. Nope, it's the final lap. So, unfortunately, Baku is not going to improve this one. So it's still looking like Lyric, unless Sheldologist can pull something out here, is going to walk away with the pole position here.
Oh, we just see Louise better his lap time, move up into P4 with 1 minute 18.2. But yeah, it certainly looks like it's going to be the fight between a Lyric and a Sheldologist for that top spot. So looking aboard with a Sheldologist now, just coming through the tunnel. Oh, he slightly scrapes the outside wall there. Has that cost him? Well, he is 1/10 up on his previous best. It's not going to be enough though, unless he really pulls out the stops in his final sector. But I do think it's going to be Lyric that is going to qualify on a pole position with a very, very good time of a 1 minute 17.456. Sheldologist comes across the line, doesn't improve, but Lyric improves by 12/100th of a second
Wow.
to extend his gap at the top. 1 minute 17.3. What are your thoughts, Tati?
The times are a bit pixelated for me, but on the feed. But is that half a second or 0.6 of a second between Shed and Lyric? 0.6. Got it. Almost 0.7 there. So very interesting that between the first and the second, we're looking at almost an entire second between the two of them. But of course, we have 3 splits to get through tonight, and those times will get filled in. But man, what a quali! What we talked about was very important. Short shifting, not hitting those walls. Oh man, watching Old Man Pip hit that wall. I think that wall outside of turn 7 is probably the one I'm most acquainted with at this track. We're very good friends, me and that wall, and it will absolutely ruin your lap when you stop to talk about it or talk to it. So Old Man Pip comes in 5th with a 1:18.2, which is pretty respectable compared to the times from last night, from what I recall.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's quickly run you through the qualifying classified results from Stint 1. So we've got PSG Lyric on a pole position with that very, very good 1 minute 17.329. As mentioned, nearly 7/10 over his nearest rival, which was Sheldologist, with a 1 minute 18.013. 2,000th of a second quicker than GI Boku in 3rd position with a 1:18.015. Then we are talking 5/100th of a second separating Boku and Louise for P4, with Old Man Pip grabbing P5 with a 1 minute 18.210. Then it was the lone British driver of Spawn in P6 with a 1 minute 18.478, and that is followed by PHG Horn of Plenty in 7th position with a 1 minute 19.101. Rounding up the top 8 is RTS Bandit with a 1 minute 19.264. In 9th position, we have PHG Arrow with a 1 minute 19.504. And then at the back in 10th position is Ireland Grown with a 1 minute 19.707. We'll see whether or not that'll be good enough to qualify into the group stages. But great first stint, and our first driver to nip into the 1 minute 17s. So we'll see what happens in split 2. But we are going to go for a quick break. So please don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in a moment for split 2. So have a refresher and we'll see you soon. Welcome back, everyone, and what an enthralling start to life in the Saturday heats for this pre-qualifying in the groups for the group stages. Sorry, and just your overall thoughts, TK, on how that went and maybe what to expect in this second split.
Well, based off what we saw last night, we had 10 drivers manage to get into the 117s. But in that split we just saw, only one driver managed to get in the 117s, and the majority of them finding themselves in that 118. So that's going to be a real challenge to make it into that top split with that many drivers putting out similar times. So I'm hoping in this split we're going to see more drivers in the 117s and maybe that elusive 116 we've been talking about.
Yeah, it's very interesting actually, because obviously after watching last night, we ended up having 10 drivers that managed to get into the 17s, and there was only actually 4 drivers that were in the low 18s. So perhaps a slight disappointment in split one. But obviously that depends on the drivers across the 3 splits. But Tati, do you envisage that there could be faster times through this next split?
I mean, there's nothing indicating that last night has to be the faster group of drivers. You've got 2 more splits to get through, including a split where our previous champion is in. So I expect competition to be stiff. I just hope everyone can get it together and keep away from that turn 7 wall, or all of them, really.
Yeah, to be honest, all of them, I'd say that is for sure. But mistakes will happen, and I'm sure it's not going to end during this next stint. We need to quickly shout out the sponsor for season 5. It's Henke's Tavern. It's a bar restaurant in St. Louis. I actually Googled it, this establishment. It's got rave reviews on their food and the actual layout of the bar and stuff. I'm hoping that people in Henke's Tavern are watching us right now. If you are, hi. But yeah, definitely go check them out if you're near to the area of St. Louis in the Old Town Florissant. And I was absolutely blown away, TK. So I need to ask you quickly whether you knew about all the famous things in St. Louis, because I heard that 7-Up was founded there, peanut butter. I mean, I love peanut butter, and also it's like a ghost town as well, isn't it? The Exorcist or something like that, I think it was.
I'm not sure about that last one, but yes, I do know quite a lot about St. Louis. I have family there, so I grew up going there probably twice a year. That's also where the big Budweiser factory is. It literally looks like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, but for beer. And they have all the Clydesdales there. Last time I went, it was a free tour, and you got free beer at the end, which was, for me, excellent. But yes, I did know about the 7-Up and the peanut butter. I haven't been to Henke's, but I know exactly where it is. And I regret I was there recently and didn't have time because I was there for a wedding to meet up with Slow-Mo and go to Henke's. But next time I'm in the area, I will definitely be stopping in.
Yeah, make sure you do, because they're open till 1:30 a.m. now, so they may need to change their slogan. but yeah, certainly go if you're near to them, go and check them out. They're an awesome bar and restaurant establishment. And thank you so much for sponsoring us in the NRL season 5. Because if you're any first, we're open to 1:30 a.m. Okay, so on to the second of the 3 qualifying stints. And TK, if you can read us through the details of this 15-minute qualifier.
Absolutely. So we're going to be in the BMW M4 Group 4 car on racing soft tires at the Tokyo Expressway center clockwise. Going to be a 15-minute qualifier. BOP is on, brake bias is allowed. Mechanical damage is set to heavy with these walls around here. That is a big deal because you're going to have to pit to fix that damage. Tire wear is at a rate of 3, and fuel consumption is at a rate of 4, which also is key to the strategy as they're going to want to burn that fuel. Points allocations, no points given this round, no race bonuses. This is literally just to qualify to be a part of the league. Top 14 drivers will be in Division A, the next 14 Division B, and the rest, sorry to say, will be eliminated. They will get their entry fee back, so hopefully they can save that and sign back up for the next season. And then we have our driver lineup of Thelmora, then we have Krugeroo, MD Hop 2, MD Hop 567, P. Rosel, and all of those drivers are free agents. And then we get to a driver from last season, Parquet, had some excellent driving from them last season, and he is part of Arc Data Studio Racing. Then we have PHG Salamander, excellent livery creator from Papa's House of Games. Then we have S7R Shadow Chef, part of Sector 7 Racing. Then we have Santa Miguel, free agent, and Slick SHVR2, also a free agent and in VR. If you want to, please check out their YouTubes and Twitch. I'm sure a lot of these drivers will be streaming. Just make sure you leave a tab open with the volume on for this main stream so you don't miss any of the action.
Thank you, TK. So I'm glad you read through the list there. I think I would have struggled there. But yeah, actually an interesting fact then. So you may have noticed that we've got MD Hop, who I feel like is absolutely legendary, particularly in season 3. That I do recall that fight he had with Mullet at the Nürburgring. It was an absolute epic showdown between the two drivers. Perhaps didn't get the combos that favour him in season 4. I'm expecting big things from him, but yeah, you may have noticed in the lineup there was MD Hop and then there was M Hop. Now, I do believe there is a family renaissance there. I think it's father and son. So yeah, that is definitely going to throw some emotions in there in the same lobby as well. So I do wonder if they're chatting to each other as we speak. But the qualifying session is about to get underway, and out of all the drivers that we saw in the lineup there, Tati, anyone that you recognise and anyone that you've got high hopes for?
I remember MD Hop, I remember Parquet rather, and Salamander. There were a couple of other names in there that I saw that were very, very familiar to me, so that's exciting. There's one name that is missing that was very, very fun to say last year. I'm hoping that
Giselle!
When it was my turn to read through the splits, I was like, please let Giselle be. I read ahead and everything. I was ready. And very disappointed. Very disappointed. I just want to point out, I don't think this has appeared on camera yet, but TK's had it up on his stream, but one of the drivers is risking a very, very, very big lawsuit from AO Racing. Fast Cougar, actually, with that awesome race delivery. I think that's before I just had to shout that out.
Okay. Sorry, I'm back. Yeah, I forgot to set my mic on. Very professional from me. Yes, we're on board with PHG Salamander now. A lot of deliveries that you'll see on show today are produced from this very man. And now I did manage to catch him in practice, and he was looking very, very competitive. Yeah, as you can see with the livery there, beautiful stuff there. Yeah, of course, part of the PhD team, Pepper's House of Game. He's using a Logitech G923 wheel, and he performed admirably in last season's NRL Division B, grabbing a P7 overall. I do believe he is streaming right now, so go and check him out. He's at Salamander MN on YouTube. Yeah, in what I saw as he comes across the line with a 1 minute 17.7, that is a phenomenal banker lap from Sal. I was just about to mention he was regularly getting into them 17s, and there was a prime example there. So the times are coming in thick and fast. It looks like a few of the drivers are struggling to get their banker laps. We saw quite a few 1 minute 19s and 20s, and then we had Santa Miguel just set a 1 minute 18.8 to move up into second position. So we've got S7R Shadow Chef, who Tati will know very well, actually. He is, yeah, of course, part of the Sector 7 racing team using the Logitech Pro wheel, the G Pro, sorry, of course. McNulty being a little bit annoyed with me getting that name wrong, but his last appearance was in season 3, actually, in Division A, as he just clatters that wall on the outside there, lucky not to get damage. His tyres are looking a little bit worse for wear as well, but P31 overall, so he's looking for better things in season 5. But yeah, tell us about Shadow Chef, Tati, a driver you should be very familiar with.
Well, as you know, the S7R team is pretty big, but I have been in chat and Discord with Shadow Chef, very good representative of the team there. Probably does more races than I do, actually. I need to step up my participation in racing. But yeah, Shadow Chef is awesome. I expect great things from him. The S7R team, we work together all the time to try and get faster and make sure that we represent not just with our speed, but with our sportsmanship on and off track.
And I would like to point out, Shadow Chef is rocking the livery I made for this qualifying session. So thank you, Shadow Chef, for honoring my livery by putting it on your car.
We love a talented commentator. Look at you. And you rate.
Free promotion there.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome job, T-Case. You know, a man that's too talented for his own good, as well as being beautiful as well.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
So we ride on board then with Krugeroo. Is that pronounced correctly? He is currently P10 at the moment. Looks like he wasn't able to set a banker lap, so he may well have been burning fuel then, and it looks like he's on a bit of a flyer right now as we see Salamander come into the pits to go onto his second stint. But yeah, Krugeroo, he will be looking to propel himself up the grid, because right now in the top 3 we've got Salamander, we've got Santa Miguel, we've got Felmora just moved up into P2 with a 1 minute 18.5. So good progress from the Canadian driver there. And then of course yeah, Santa Miguel now moved down into 3rd position. So it looks like Krugeroo, I am struggling to say his name right now, just coming around the final turn at turn number 14, didn't get the right purchase, and in fact sets a 1 minute 23. I do suspect he'll be coming in on this lap as we look aboard with Formora with definitely better tyres. So I think he'll be on a flyer right now. This must be his second stint on these fresh soft tyres. But yeah, currently he is 7/10 down on Salamander as he goes about a 10th quicker through sector 2. But yeah, a bit of information about Felmora is in season 4 he got P15 overall. He's using a Fanatec DD Pro. He's currently a free agent, so go and snap him up as he comes across the line with a 1 minute 18.6. Doesn't improve on his personal best though. Yes, we're looking on board then with P. Russell. P. Russell, I do believe, was in Division B last season, and I have to say I do like the look of his livery there. That is a thing of art, I have to say. Yes, with the yellow lights as well. Love it, love it. But yes, he's using the Thrustmaster T300. I had that wheel. Season 4 Division B result for him was a P24, so he's looking to do a lot better. But yeah, TK, how is from your point of view then, how is Santa Miguel doing?
Well, right now he's not on a very quick lap. He's got a little bit of tire wear on the front left tire as he's coming out of the tunnel, going up the hill. Getting close to half a tank of fuel. He's clearly revving it out. This is not his flying lap. He's already down over 2 seconds. However, he's setting himself up for a flyer, just trying to burn this fuel. He's got it completely revved out. Hazard lights are on, and he's diving into the pits for a fresh set of softs. So we'll see an outlap from him and then another flyer.
Well, I just noticed that Salamander has extended his lead at the top. He just produced a 1 minute 17.7. So, yeah, definitely going from strength to strength. Yeah, we are in the last, 6 minutes left of this qualifying session. So the drivers will need to get a move on because at the moment, Salamander with a big lead at the top, and if of course combining the 3 tiers together with their qualifying times, the next driver is Santa Miguel with a 1 minute 18.5. So that will be quite close to the cutoff point for Division A, and a lot of the drivers behind, including was it Felmora, Parquet, and Co, will be struggling to get into that Division A, possibly into Division B. So, but we'll go back aboard with TK's because he's riding aboard with Parquet, who is currently P4. Tell us about Parquet at the moment.
Yeah, Parquet's going through the tunnel right now, currently on the outlap, half a tank of fuel, fresh tires. So as soon as this lap starts, they're going to be hoping for absolute perfection, not trying to damage the tires too much here on the outlap, downshifting to get a little bit more fuel burning. But he's coming up to some traffic here, which could be an issue, but could also get a little slipstream as they're rounding about this corner and about to start their flying lap. So here they go, and we'll see if they can improve. Currently, best time is a 1:19.068. So a lot needs to be done if they want to get into this Division A.
Indeed, as that move was from me. Santa Miguel smashed into the wall there, and yes, certainly damage limitations as he, I do believe, went back into the pits to fix that damage. I just got to quickly say a huge thank you to Papa's. Is it Papa? Papa's House of Game. With the $20 donation, saying let's go PHG, let's go NRL. Thank you so much for the kind donation there, Papa, and GG's on yesterday too, with HHP with a $10 US donation saying let's go Parquet, you got this, good luck everyone. So we have got a Parquet supporter in here who we're on board right now, currently E4 for him and going swimmingly well for him, but thank you so much for the donations. It is very, very kind, which will obviously go into the driver pool for the prize pot. So yeah, thank you so much. guys, thank you for the continued support. But yeah, we're in the last 3 minutes, Tati, and this is the last chance saloon for many of the drivers. As I just see Slick improve, so 1 minute 18.7, and Felmora is gone 1/10 purple. So Tati, talk us through this lap, and also do you envisage that he could move himself onto pole position?
All he's got to do is get more purple sectors, right? Very easy to do around here, as we've seen. No, I think he can. He's gone personal best in that next sector there, just the blue sector. That doesn't mean that he won't have it for the last one. I believe there's 3 sectors around this track here. I expect to see some shakeups in the top 3, maybe even the top 5. I don't know what's going on with the Slick and Parquet, but obviously Salamander, Santa Miguel, who we just saw pit after taking a penalty. Those guys are super quick. Flawed, maybe you can answer this for me, but I have not seen where penalties are served. And I'm trying to figure out, does it only kill the 1 lap you're on, or is it in a place such as that will ruin that lap and the next one?
You know what? I didn't even think of that, Tati.
When he picked the penalty, I was like, okay, well, he's pitting for new tires anyway, and he'll take it on the out lap, but like, is it on the final straight or something, you know?
I think what I've been given note is here actually, so that answers that. Yeah, sector 2. So it is a bit of a killer, I have to say, because that is the flat out section there. So and yes, it would ruin the next lap as well. So and even when going into the pits, that penalty, I guess that penalty would be served on the out lap though. So
on the out lap.
Yeah, so I guess
somewhere on the map. I don't know who spun, but I just saw an arrow go round top of turn 5. Oh, they reset. Never mind. I don't know who it was though.
Okay, well,
you know, with the penalties, a lot of the time, if you pick up a penalty, you're gonna get damage. So you're gonna want to pit and take care of all that anyways. And then, yeah, if we're serving it on the out lap, it's not gonna be that big of a deal.
Oh, as we just see Santa Miguel go purple through sector 1. So a good start to the lap for Santa Miguel. He'll be looking to try and overthrow Salamander, who's currently on pole with a 1 minute 17.7 through sector 2. He is 1.5 tenths up. So he's definitely going about it the right way as we go through this tricky right-hand turn through the tunnel. Keeps it glued to the surface as we go through the S's. Oh, it does brilliantly there.
There you go.
He is absolutely flying. Maybe we'll start calling him Pegasus because he is absolutely flying. He is 13/100th of a second up through sector 3. And oh no, he's in the 2 corners to spare. He's got that penalty, he's got damage, and that has ruined his final lap there, but of course still grabs an excellent P3 for him. It looks like a lot of the drivers are on their final laps as we look on board with a replay of Krugeroo going sideways into the tunnel section. I mean, talk about style points there. I mean, that was quite something, right?
Indeed. You know, you would think these cars wouldn't be able to spin with how tight this track is, but they've proven us wrong on that one.
He found the space. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry, go on, Tassie.
No, I was just going to say that one seemed like it went by much quicker than the first one. Obviously, everyone gets pretty much the same amount of laps in the same amount of time, but I almost feel like these guys deserve another chance.
Yeah, I mean, this is the I guess the iconic and devastating thing for the drivers really is that it's so easy to make a mistake here, and I'm sure the drivers would have put in hours of practicing, but obviously when it comes to it, when the pressure is on, it is very difficult to keep it away from the walls, it seems. And well, of course, that one man that did perform to absolute perfection was PhD Salamander, who looks like he has finished on pole position then with that 1 minute 17.731, is it? Yes, 3-1. So yeah, when the heat is on, unfortunately, it was pressure that they couldn't withstand. So we'll see whether or not their times are good enough to get into Division A for particularly the top sort of 6 or 7 drivers. MD Hop, surprised not to see him a bit further up, actually, in 7th position, ahead of his dad, actually, M Hop, in P8. So yeah, we'll have to see how Split 3 get on. It's very hard to decipher exactly where the drivers are positioned until we actually get the full lowdown of the leaderboards from Saturday. But yeah, certainly drama was added to the mix, Tati, and certainly going to set up an exciting Split 3.
Yeah, can't wait to see all the numbers once we've filtered everyone in. It's so hard to be consistent around here. I mean, even Salamander, our pro in this at least split, he's got a couple of slow flyers in there for him. He was able to drop 3 117s. So we got a 118, we got a 119. Probably lap 2 was a bit slow too. So hard to keep it together around here.
Indeed. Well, we'll run you through the classified pre-qualifying Saturday Split 2 results. So PHG Salamander, as confirmed, pole position for him, 1 minute 17.731, 3/10 quicker than Felmora with a 1 minute 18 flat for P2. P3 went to Santa Miguel, half a second down on Felmora with a 1 minute 18.571. Then he's just under 2/10 ahead of PHG Slick SHVR2 in P4 with a 1 minute 18.719. P5 went to Parquet with a 1 minute 18.827. A 10th over P Russell for P6 with a 1 minute 18.909. Then it was MD Hop 2 with a 1 minute 19.401, who is 6/10 ahead of M Hop with a 1 minute 20.088 in P8. P9 went to Krugeroo with that fine drift into the tunnel. He set a 1 minute 23.1. I think they should have been the other way round, so I'm not sure if Shadow Chef left the lobby early, but he set a 1 minute 19.5. So in fact, I think he goes to P9 and Krugeroo in 10th position. So yeah, it's a hard one to call, really, guys, because I was expecting more drivers to be in that 1 minute 17 mix. There's been quite a few 18s and certainly 19s as well, which really surprised me. So maybe the cutoff point for Division A for today may be reduced in what's the word? Slower in lap time. What's your thoughts, though?
Yeah, I think in that split we just watched, in particular, I think traffic had a big effect. I saw a lot more cars closer together as they went around, which can obviously mess up your lap, especially when space is as tight as it is. But I think we got some really quick drivers in this final split, so we might see that the times balance out a little more after we watch this next one.
Yeah, I do agree with you with that one. And just a quick note as well, we have got another legend in the building. It's PHG Duke Thunder with a $10 donation saying, "Let's go, boys. Announcers, you're doing a great job." Well, I like you even more, Duke Thunder. So thank you for the kind compliment, and thank you so much for the donation as well. We really appreciate you, and that will be added to the drivers pot come the end of the season. So thank you so much for that support. Absolute legend. But yeah, Tati, obviously we mentioned about Wid in Split 3. So we've been a little bit disappointed with the time so far, but do you envisage that he will be the fastest overall? Of course, reigning champion going into season 5 as well.
As long as he has practiced. We've seen this track is absolutely unforgiving, and there's no room for not knowing the track, if you will. Some of those walls come up really, really fast, and if you weren't ready for it, you didn't set up for it at corner entry, you're not going to make the exit. So Maybe if we'd practiced, I have no idea. We'll see. You did. Good to hear. That was our producer McNaughty chiming in. None of you guys heard it, but we have the magic, all-knowing producer in our ear.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we'll be lost without McNulty, that is for sure. But yeah, no, he's definitely practiced, and I'm expecting big things. So no pressure, Wid, if you're listening. But we're gonna head off for a mini break. So make sure you don't go anywhere. We're going to be back for split number 3, as well as the results a little bit afterwards, and the and also a preview of next week's races as well. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. Welcome back, everyone, and hopefully you grabbed a drink and some popcorn, because we have got one more split to come in the lead up to the qualification in the group stages. So we need to give you a quick rundown again and say thank you so much to Henke's Tavern again for being our sponsor for the NRL Season 5. If you ain't first, we're open till 1 a.m. That's a lie. But definitely go check them out if you're near to them in the St. Louis area. And again, big thank you for being our sponsor. So we will show you once again the details for the quali session, this 15-minute qualifying session. So Tati, if you can run us through the details, please.
Yes, absolutely. And so 4 qualifying sessions are the 15-minute time limit. Everyone is driving the same car, the BMW M4 GR4 on racing softs. That is the available and required tire. In that 15 minutes, they will drive with balance of performance on. Brake bias is allowed, meaning they can switch their brake bias from front to rear in the car. Mechanical damage is heavy, so if you hit the wall, you got to pit to fix it. Tires will wear at a rate of 3x. Fuel will be consumed at a rate of 4x. Drivers should not need to refuel, so they're probably going to spend some time on those out laps actually burning fuel away, as they will need to short shift to be fast on the Flyers. No points will be given this round. This is not a race. This is a qualifying session just to determine where drivers will be in the next 3 rounds in the championship, of course, between Split A and Split B. The top 14 qualifiers today will be in Division A, and the next 14 will be in Division B. Anyone beyond that is eliminated. Sorry about it. Today's driver lineup. Am I reading that, or am I passing that to PH? I am. Okay, so today's driver lineup, we've got Almost Podium. It's an awesome name. He's a free agent. Bandit 1, also a free agent. BHR Johnny Boy with Beehive Racing. BHR Palius Pango as well. Cyrus Nicky GT is a free agent. You might have seen the amazing trailer that he created for us at the start here. Digital Relay, another free agent. Lots of free agents today. MMR Moose 21, very familiar to the league. That is Moose Mafia Racing of Moose 21. PHG Caper, another Papa's House of Gaming driver. And then finally, Wid, who's a free agent but hangs out in the S7R server a lot. These are their YouTube channels. Some of them all will be streaming. Definitely check out their streams. You can open it up in another tab, maybe with the volume down. Keep our tab open with the volume up so you don't miss anything. We've got folks streaming both on YouTube and Twitch.
Thank you, Tessie.
Yes, of course.
And definitely some familiar names in that lineup. And quick one to mention. Obviously, we mentioned about Wid, who is coming in, trying to defend his crown. Also with Moose as well. Apparently, he hates this location, even though he got first position in one of the races last season. Different variant of Tokyo, but even so, he says that he hates Tokyo with a passion. Sorry to all the Japanese that might be watching the stream, but he was actually looking really good in practice. So I've got big hopes for him in this third split. But certainly other returning names of PHG Caper as well, aka Shaunzy. So expecting him to do really well in this split, and I think it is going to be a lot more competitive in this split. I do. I hope that they'll be able to set some 17s, maybe even quicker. Who knows? And we also do pray for the Almost Podium. Hopefully, he will go against his name and actually get a podium. But we'll see how he gets on. So, before we get into the qualifying session, we have got another awesome donation from Dakara Spawn Black saying good luck to all. Great commentary, superb production. Keep it up, guys, and thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for the £10 donation, Dakara, our solitary UK driver representing NRL. So I'll definitely be well, I will be supporting you throughout this championship, should I say. So being, a British guy myself, so thank you so much for the huge support from you, the Cara, and everyone that's donated today. I'm sure all the drivers in NRL and us in the production as well are hugely appreciative of all these donations. So the drivers are just kicking off the qualifying session right now then, so a lot of the drivers will be on the outlap, and hopefully they'll be learning from a lot of the performances of the drivers in the tiers preceding this, and knowing that short shifting is key, knowing that just the one flying lap before diving into the pits for a new set of tyres is the way to go. But we ride on board with Bandit, who is another free agent, and guys, you need to snap up Bandit here. He has got high hopes going into season 5. He's on a Fanatec DD Pro wheel, so yeah, fingers crossed for him, and very important to get the track space. So that just in case the driver in front doesn't make a mistake and doesn't impede them on their flying lap. But we are on board with Wid, as mentioned, a reigning champion. He was ever so dominant in season 4, and I didn't know too much about Wid before season 4, but I certainly know him now, and he is a free agent. So another one that needs to knock on his door and snap him up for their team. Wid is an absolute phenomenal driver who is using a Thrustmaster T598. That is the new DD wheel from Thrustmaster, so perhaps that is his secret, who knows. But as mentioned, last appearance season 4, P1 overall in the Division A final, and he's on Twitch, so I definitely need to go and follow him. It is Widder Buddy on Twitch, so go and support him. He may well be streaming right now, so definitely hit that follow button for him. But yeah, Wid, expecting big things from him. Hopefully the pressure won't get to him, and he will set the trend in split 3. Well, he is coming around the final corner at turn number 14, and nice and tidy through there, and he sets a 1 minute 17.152. That is the fastest of Saturday, and that is just a banker lap as well with the heavy fuel.
Wow.
So he is the one to set the example. In fact, I've just been told it's the fastest of the whole weekend, and this is on heavy fuel. So it just shows you the pedigree of Wid, and he's definitely not disappointed, TKs.
Indeed, I think our hopes and dreams are going to come to fruition here, and he's going to give us that 116 we've all been eager to see. And he's only 4/10 ahead of Moose, so Moose also put in a solid lap there. So hope to see several drivers here getting into those low 17s and flirting with that 16.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're on board with Moose as well, and he's also started and got out the traps very quickly indeed, because he's currently in second position with his 1 minute 17.5, is it? Yeah, 556. So just 4/10 down on current pole sitter Wid as he dives into the pits. We've got Cyrus Nicky in P3 as well, nearly 8/10 adrift of Moose with a 1 minute 18.3. And yeah, we've got quite a lot of drivers coming into the pits now to start their second stint on the new tyres. So this is just the banker laps. I'm sure the drivers will get quicker and quicker as the qualifying session gets underway, but yeah, so far so good, Tati. Absolute phenomenal from Wid and Moose.
Yeah, definitely great. And with Moose with that 17.5, there's a comment in the chat that says Moose is actually on a controller at the
Wow.
moment with that 17.5, which is yeah, really quick. We got some fast people on controllers for sure. Wid, wow, what can we say? Someone in the comments, I think it was Luis, said, "What is wrong with him?" Exactly, exactly. That's all there is to say there. Looking forward to seeing what he can put together as he gets lower and lower on fuel.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I'm very excited to see how much time they can really eke out of these BMWs. That is for sure. But TK, tell us from your point of view who you're watching and how they're getting on.
I'm currently on board with Moose as he does his outlap here. He just passed the pit entry. He's down to 3/4 of a tank of fuel, and is getting ready to start his flying lap here now. So we'll see exactly what he's able to do, getting the shifting points right, hugging the walls, and something Tati had pointed out earlier was like, with the way these walls are, they can sneak up on you really quick if you turn in too early or too late. Like, you got to set your corner up several turns in advance, and he's already gone quicker by about 3 1,000ths of a sec, or hundredths of a second. So he's ever so slightly improved, not a big improvement as he finishes the first sector, and then is about to, and now he is down almost a tenth as he comes down the hill into the tunnel. So it's kind of a bit of a roller coaster right now going around this track. It seems like some drivers do a lot better in certain sectors, so they might go up, because now he's up a tenth. So it's all over the place. It's really hard to complete an entire lap here and keep that delta positive. But it's looking like it's going to be an improved lap for Moose, but nothing that he's able to do to catch Wid at the moment. We're about to see him come across the line, and he does improve by 1/10 here. So cuts the gap to almost 3/10 between him and Wid, and we'll see what happens next.
Yeah, and Cyrus Nicky, the third driver to get into the 1 minute 17s with a 1 minute 17.9, I do believe. So Cyrus Nicky definitely heading in the right direction. PSG Caper currently in P4 with a 1 minute 18.3. But Mr. Producer, how is Wid getting on? Is Wid on a flying lap? Because I am so interested to see if he will be the first driver to sink beneath the 1 minute 17 range. We pray for him. We have our fingers and toes crossed, and as we look on board, well, we're still looking on board with PSG Caper. But yeah, T-Case, if you can talk us through Wid right now, please.
Well, while Caper is definitely massively improving his time, Wid is down and just dove into the pits. He was down several tenths on this lap, so he's got half a tank of fuel, gonna come in for some fresh tires. But I think we might see Caper make a bit of a improvement here.
Okay, yeah, we're Oh no, he's gone into the pits. Yeah, sorry. So a lot of the drivers have gone back into the pits. Then, yeah, the tyres do fall off a cliff, unfortunately, on these racing soft tyres, and by the time you get into the sort of latter half of the lap, you start seeing the lap delta really fall off. So a lot of the drivers, yeah, diving into the pits, getting onto some fresh rubber. We have still got 6 minutes left of this qualifying session, so still enough time to do at least one more stint, possibly two. I don't 100% sure. 100% sure. No, it's going to be tight. That is for sure. But Wid on the outlap right now. But we've got Digital Relay currently in P4. T-Case, how is he getting on?
Well, he just put up a not so hot sector there, but they are on a flying lap, almost down to half a tank of fuel, and they are down 2/10 from their best time. And it's crazy because they're only 6/1000ths of a second ahead of Caper. So it's real tight between Digital Relay and Caper as Digital Relay dives into the pits.
Right, okay, so it's certainly going to be a very exciting last 5 minutes of this qualifying session, I think, Tetty.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got some real contenders here. Surprised to see Wid have to pit while being several tenths down, but I'm still hopeful for that 116. I mean, he is almost picture perfect right now as we follow him along with chase cams, getting close to those walls. But really, all you can do on a street track, right, is you have to be very well acquainted with the walls. But it's a whisper. You don't shout at them. You just get really, really close and hope that they don't reach out and grab you.
Yeah, gently does it for Wid, that's for sure. As he's gone purple through sector 2 as well. Looks like he's extending that pace as we go through the sectors then. But Moose did go a little bit quicker, did he? I'm not 100% sure. Cyrus Nicky is on a flyer as well. Yeah. We're going to stay on board with Cyrus Nicky then, because we'll see if he can improve and try to challenge the likes of Moose. I would say Wid as well, but I don't know if anyone is going to catch Wid with this kind of pace. But as he comes through the tunnel section, he's got a bit of traffic in front, got almost podium, but he does move out the way just in time. Hopefully that didn't impede Cyrus Nicky as we come through the final turn of this lap. And as he comes across the line, he's 2.5 tenths down on his PB there, so remains in P3. Wid, though, however, is the first driver to breach the 1 minute 17s with a 1 minute 16.944. Phenomenal lap from Wid. As he... Oh, we just missed the... I think it was a wall... Was it a wall clattering? I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, Wid is the fastest man in NRL right now. And you know, he is just a man on the mission. I was going to nickname him Zeus because he just absolutely zaps anyone that comes in his way. Yeah, we're going to work on these nicknames, I think, throughout NRL this season. So maybe if you've got any suggestions as the rounds go on between yourself, Tatty, and TKs, that would be brilliant. But what's going on your end, TKs?
Well, I was following along with Moose, and he really confused me. He got damage on the front left and drove right past the pits and did another lap, and now is in the pits. So I guess he knows how much time he needs on his outlap and fuel burning, and took that damage and just kept going around, knowing that he's going to get one more chance to do it. And I'm on board right now with Almost Podium, who is on their outlap. Done a really good job burning the fuel, tapped the wall, and dove into the pits. So they're going to do one more stop, which they didn't even do that much tire wear on their outlap. So that's very interesting that they chose to hop into the pits. Maybe that tap of the wall was a signal for them to reset and start over.
Yes, indeed. Well, to be honest, anything in the 117s will qualify them for the Division A Saturday heat. So yeah, perhaps not so important now, and the pressure has definitely been lifted, particularly from Wid, Moose, Cyrus Nicky. 100% sure if Bandit is within that time frame as well, but certainly doing really well on P4. But we ride aboard with Wid as well. It looks like he's going to have enough time to go even quicker on his last flying lap. So yeah, really rubbing salt in the wounds to all the drivers behind, and he's already set at 1 minute 16.9, but here's his last chance to go even quicker, Tessie.
Yeah, see that sitting there burning off as much fuel as he could in that outlap there. This will be his final chance to beat his time. He has no reason to, but we are racers, and one thing we're not going to do is park it when we're on a roll. So Wid gonna try to extend that lead ahead of Moose, who's almost half a second slower. I suppose it's probably not good to rest on your laurels, so he's not gonna do it.
Yeah, definitely going out in style. But sorry, TKs.
Oh, I was just gonna say, did you notice his livery with the Hankey's Tavern? Shout out to Hankey's, our sponsor here at the NRL. We got some really talented people putting decals in the game. So get yourself a Hankey's Tavern decal to put on your next livery.
Yeah, awesome. By the way, I see? Everyone's pitting for tires, many sets of tires. Shout out to Hankey's for the budget here and allowing these teams to just run through softs like they're free. Thank you, Hankey's.
Tires aren't cheap. Tires aren't cheap.
No, indeed. And Wid rounds it off in style. Then he wasn't able to improve, but phenomenal qualifying session from him. As Moose goes quicker, but will stay in second position. He grabbed a 1:17.2 ahead of Cyrus Nicky, who wasn't able to improve on his previous best lap, as it looked like PhD Caper with saving the best to last, moving up into fourth position with Bandit with a 1.5 second penalty, so he's not going to improve on his lap. We've got a driver just behind as well, B9. That was Police Pango improving but staying in ninth position. And seventh went to almost podium. That wasn't quite almost podium for him this time around. We was hoping for a podium, but it was far off from podium this time around. But congratulations to Wid. Phenomenal showing from him with a flying lap of a 1:16.944, 4/10 ahead of his rival Moose, with a equally great showing from him as well. Setting very good pace on that controller of his as well. So congratulations to all the drivers, though, with Cyrus Nicky also joining the drivers at the top in the in the 17 range, which is on the 16s, isn't he now? So there goes that thought. But yeah, phenomenal last showing from the drivers, and I think quite a lot of the drivers in the top half will have secured their passage into Division A for next week. So, but we will come back to you with the classified results from Stint 3 in a short while. But what are your thoughts, TKs?
Well, I think this gave us exactly what we were wanting. We had several drivers in the 1:17s, and Wid, of course, getting into the 16s, and almost podium, almost into the 17s. They had a 1:18.092. So while they didn't almost get the podium, they did almost get into the 1:17s.
Yeah, fair play. It's very difficult around a circuit like this, as we as evidence that we've seen throughout Saturday. But looking on the classified results for pre-qualifying in Stint 3, Wid confirmed as the fastest driver across the Saturday stints with a 1:16.944. Moose with an excellent time in itself, a 1:17.364 for him to grab second position. Cyrus Nicky managed to get a 1:17.926, and PhD Caper with the saving the best to last for him as well, with 1:17.949, just 2/100th of a second separating the two drivers, with Bandit managing to dip beneath the 1:18s as well, in fifth position with a 1:17.981, 3/100th of a second separating him to PhD Caper. Then in sixth position was Digital Relay with a 1:18.009. That's 2/100th of a second separated. So very close between the times there, with almost podium in seventh position with a 1:18.092, 9/100th of a second separating them. BHR Johnny Boy rounding up the top eight with a 1:18.540. And then ninth position we had BHR Pelias Pango with a 1 minute 19.167. He may be ninth, but that may well be good enough for qualification into the group stages in season 5. But yeah, Tati, your thoughts on the whole today, really?
Well, lots of close times today between all three of the splits. So I'm excited to see how they split between A and B, divisions A and B. Of course, I expect Division A to be somewhat close in talent. Of course, Wid has all Division A on notice that he wants to come back for the championship. Shows up, drops a time in the same car, the same tires, the same track with equal conditions, and drops a time that no one got close to. So that is putting everyone in Division A, both Friday and Saturday, on notice that he's not to be trifled with this season either. Hopefully they can all step it up. I guess everyone realizes I got to get more practice in.
Yes, indeed. And TK's, probably following on from what Tati said there. So in regards to practice and knowing you've got this supreme driver in Wid, there's going to be some several hours synced in to practice, I'm sure, right?
Oh, for sure. And it's the start of the season, and I think we have just enough time between seasons that people forget how much effort this takes as a driver to not only make it into the NRL, but to be successful in the NRL. It takes practice. Forget the dailies. Forget manufacturers and nations. Like, you need to put your time and effort into practicing NRL. Find those lobbies with other people. If you can find a lobby with Wid in it, there you go. Or any of the other top drivers, you can watch what they're doing. And with the way we do qualifying here, this is a different combo. It's a car that isn't commonly used and a track that isn't commonly used. So there might be some really fast drivers who just got caught out by this combo. So we're going to see in a little bit what their races are going to be next weekend, and that this whole order might get changed up just depending on the combo, but they definitely are going to need to get in those practice lobbies and put in a lot of effort.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, anyone that is new to NRL, yeah, this is a very iconic league where it is not your mundane, like Group 3 cars. Yes, we might have used Group 4, but BMW is certainly not the meta car. So it's quite an unusual combination, that is for sure. And this is definitely something you come to expect in NRL. Anything is possible. It could be any range of road cars to your sports cars to your racing cars. We just don't know, and also across different surfaces as well. So don't rule out just the tarmac. It could be snow, it could be dirt. Anything is possible, which is why we absolutely adore what McNulty does here in the NRL. But we are awaiting the results for the leaderboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to go off for a mini break and allow them a little bit of time to total up the overall times and the leaderboards to decide who qualifies into Division A, who qualifies into Division B, and unfortunately who will be sent packing and eliminated from this championship. As well as the preview for next week's Saturday round 1 in the group stages. So please do hang about. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone. And yeah, what a fantastic time we saw in the Saturday heats for qualifying into the group stages. Yeah, I'm very intrigued to see how close the times are and who qualifies where. But before we get into that, again, and I'm going to sound like a broken record, but thank you so much to Henke's Tavern for our main sponsor for the NRL Season 5. And again, if anyone watching in the tavern, hello from us at NRL, and we really appreciate your support in supporting the NRL. Of course, if you ain't first, we're open till 1 a.m. So make sure you get down there, grab yourself a drink and a nice burger or something like that. But yeah, it is now time to look at the qualifying results for Saturday, starting off the 14 drivers that will be going into Division A. TK's, take it away.
All right, Flood. Well, like we've said a million times, with P1 in the coveted 1:16.944 time, followed by PHG Lyric with a 1:17.329. Then we have in P3 MMR Moose with a 1:17.364. Then we have PHG Salamander MN with a 1:17.731. And in P5 S7R Nuke with a 1:17.896. Cyrus Nicky in P6 with a 1:17.926. PHG Caper in P7 with a 1:17.949. Then we have Bandit in P8 with a 1:17.981. And then so close, these next three drivers. P9 Digital Relay with a 1:18.009. PHG Sheldologist with a 1:18.013. GI Boku with a 1:18.015. Oh my goodness, it keeps going. Felmora P12 with a 1:18.035. Luis in P13 with a 1:18.069. The 1:18.0s keep coming in 14th, almost podium, with a 1:18.092. So almost podium, made it in there to Division A.
Wow, so close. And Tati, can you read us through the Division B drivers, please?
Absolutely. Another really close field of drivers here. In 15th, you've got Old Man Pip with a 1:18.210. PHG Lead Pencil in 16th with a 1:18.424. Spawn with a 1:18.478, so almost tied with Lead Pencil there. In 18th, BHR Johnny Boy with a 1:18.540. Right behind him, Santa Miguel in 19th with a 1:18.571. Slick SH VR2 in 20th with a 1:18.719. Parquet in 21st with a 1:18.827. And then in 22nd, we're looking at P. Rosal with a 1:18.909. PHG Horn of Plenty in 23rd place with a 1:19.101. And 24th, we got BHR Plies Pango and with a 1:19.167. And then Bandit in 25th with a 1:19.264. MD Hop takes 26th place with a 1:19.401. And then Shadow Chef in 27th, along with PHG Arrow in 28th, coming in nearly together with a 1:19.5 for Shadow and a 1:19.504 for Arrow. That's Division B.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not done. We've got Island Grown. Yeah, sorry about that. Island Grown in 29th place with a 1:19.707, and then M Hop in 30th with a 1:20.088. SoCal J4 in 31st with a 1:20.199, and then Krugeru in 32nd with that 1:23.196.
Yeah, unfortunately, them four drivers will be eliminated ahead of the group stage. So really sorry to hear that, but well, as the times proved, they're very, very competitive, and yeah, just well, I didn't see that coming, to be honest, TKs. It was so tight, particularly in Division A, and the cutoff point did end up a 1 minute 18.0. But, you know, there was literally like 200th of a second separating, you know, per driver, it seemed like, for sort of the last 5 or 6 positions. And even in Division B as well, it was crazy close as well.
Yeah.
Indeed, it was that I wasn't expecting that either, especially that back half of the of Division A all separated so closely. A little sad that Parquet and Cyrus Nicky aren't going to be in the same division. They treated us to some amazing driving last season, and then we saw the father-son duo. Unfortunately, one got eliminated there.
Yeah, and your thoughts as well, Tessie?
I mean, it's wild to think that people got eliminated. I mean, sometimes it kind of made sense, but everyone else was so close. Some of those drivers that didn't make it just barely didn't make it. But alas, the lobby can only be so big. This is a very competitive league, as people can see. So, you know, if season 6 is where you think you're going to make something happen, I say start now. Start improving now. Super excited to see what the first race is going to be.
Well, interesting you say start improving now, because now we're going to give you the preview for the first round of the group stage, starting off in Division B. So Division B race, we are at the Blue Moon Speedway then, mirroring the Friday heats then. It is an oval track with 39 laps, with a 10-minute qualifying preceding it in the Ford Mustang Group 3 car. It is going to be a grid start with full start check enabled. BOP is on, brake balance is allowed though. Mechanical damage is set to heavy, so again need to keep it away from the walls, with tyre wear rate at ×3 and a fuel consumption rate at ×2. We have got racing soft, mediums and hards available, but none are required. So strategy will be key in this one, and certainly that slipstream as well, TKs.
Indeed, yeah, strategy is going to be huge. You can pick any tire, so maybe you can pull off a no stopper on the hards versus trying to do some stops on the other ones. This is an interesting track to be in, this Group 3 Mustang. This is going to be a real challenge. The walls get really close on that. It's almost a hairpin. I know it's like a tri-oval, but it comes down to a point there. I was not expecting this one.
Yeah, Tansy as well. Are you a fan of the ovals?
I love this one in particular, probably because it's not an oval. At the end of the day, let's be honest, this is a triangle. But it's super fun. It's a nice departure from, you know, some of the other created tracks. Unfortunately, I did not get to watch last night. I was racing myself actually at Blue Moon in Field A in reverse, so I don't know what oval they got for Friday night, but Saturday's race is certainly going to be special. Some of these corners, that hairpin like TK's mentioned, can be great passing points, but also nightmares for some other drivers.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a hash brown, actually. Start calling it the hash brown circuit. But yeah, very interesting Division B round 1 for the drivers. So really look forward to that next week for the Saturday Division B. But we need to have a look at what the Division A drivers will be facing. And we are, I love this place. It is the Grand Valley Highway 1 reverse layout though, something that I'm not used to, but it's going to be 17 laps in the McLaren 650S GT3 car, or the Group 3 car, sorry, with a 10-minute qualifier ahead of that 17-lap race. We've got a grid start with full start check on. BOP is enabled with brake balance allowed. Mechanical damage also set to heavy with tyre wear rate at ×3 and the fuel consumption rate at ×2. Also, all 3 tyre compounds is available in the softs, medium and hards, and again, none are required. So definitely a very interesting combo, Tessie.
Yeah, Absolutely. I will admit that I have yet to learn Grand Valley since it was added to the game. I know one of the short layouts, but the full layout I've not learned. This was my favorite track in Gran Turismo 5 and 6. I think I've just not gotten around the changes they made, but being in reverse, I have driven this track plenty of times. And I'll tell you right now, these drivers are in for an absolute challenge. That corner coming off of the bridge in reverse is so difficult to get right and be fast in.
Yeah, I absolutely love this place. Not so much in reverse, and it definitely throws up different challenges to the normal way round. But yeah, certainly it's a track that you need to go on. It's absolutely fantastic. The track limits are very tight as well. But yeah, TKs, what are your thoughts on this race?
Yeah, well, in the regular way around here, it is one of my top 5 favorite tracks, especially in Group 3 cars. I think it is fantastic in Group 3 cars. I know a lot of drivers really do like this McLaren. In the dailies, it usually isn't the strongest choice because of the way Gran Turismo has bop, but I know a lot of drivers really love this car. Going in reverse, I don't know that I've ever done the full layout in reverse. I know I've done the smaller one, and we actually had that as a combo in a previous season of NRL, was the smaller layout in reverse, and it caught a lot of drivers out. So I mean, luckily they have a week to prepare, and this is what we were talking about. Practice, practice, practice. They're going to have to learn the layout, figure out tire strategy, fuel, and then this has a combination of walls and very dusty dirt runoffs that dirty up your tires real quick. Track limits are going to be an issue here as well. So yeah, good luck.
Yeah, definitely good luck on this race in particular. Yeah, it's certainly going to throw up some challenges for the drivers, and yeah, really looking forward to this one. But make sure that you tune in to, firstly, the Friday broadcast, which will be on the 28th of March at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. That'll be hosted by the awesome Toon, Slow-Mo and Leo with their respective races for Division A and Division B in the first round of the group stage, and as well as us on the following Saturday, the 29th of March at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure as well, if you're new to NRL, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button as well, and make sure the bell notification is turned on as well so you don't miss a thing. But yeah, that was a phenomenal qualifying session ahead of this group stage for next week. Your final thoughts, TKs?
Well, I was excited after watching last night. I didn't think I could get more excited, but it's happened. I'm so happy to be back, season 5, and oh man, great job to all the drivers today, just showing up and showing that you put in work. Excellent job to everyone, and can't wait to be back next weekend.
And also, another question I need to throw out, a particular driver of the day, or is that quite obvious?
I think it's obvious.
Yeah. Okay. I had to throw it out there, but yeah, it's yeah.
And you know what? Mention I have honorable mention to Moose being right behind him with on the controller. From what I understand, he's normally on a wheel, so jumping back to controller is not easy. It's completely different.
Yeah. I do agree. On that. Yeah, on a track that apparently he hates as well. I don't know if I'm ever going to believe him again, because every time he's said that, he's been phenomenal. So GG's definitely to Moose, but GG's to everyone that competed tonight, as you know, such a close Division A, and certainly if qualifying is anything to go by, then it's certainly going to be a very exciting season 5. No matter what division, A or B, it looked very close and competitive. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that one next week. In chat as well, let us know who your driver of the day was. Again, I think it's quite obvious, but you know, again, huge appreciation for our sponsor. And I've forgotten, it is Henke's Tavern. I should have that nailed in my brain. But Henke's Tavern, thank you so much for sponsoring us, and we'll be sponsoring throughout the NRL season 5. But thank you to everyone that has tuned in today. Thank you to everyone that has provided them donations as well. Very, very kind, and we appreciate all the support as well. Yeah, we will be back next week for the Friday championship, the round 1 of the group stages, hosted by Toon, Leo, and Slowmo. So make sure you do tune in 8:30 Eastern time for that one. But yeah, it's been absolutely emotional, and absolutely loved this pre-qualifying. So it's time to say our goodbyes. So it's a goodbye from T-Case.
Later, y'all.
And it's a goodbye from Tatty.
See you next week, everyone.
And it's a goodbye from me. Take care, stay safe, and see you next week. Bye-bye for now.